So, folks, what we're going to be talking about today are some very important things, right? Not the least of which is how to get your first commercial deal, right? Now, the cool thing about getting your first commercial deal is, well, a few things happen along the way, right? By the way, as you guys are hopping on, let's see your beautiful smiling faces and get those cameras on. If those of you have been on the last several weeks, we now have a cameras on policy. Why? Because I want you to be here. I want you to learn. I want you to take something that you learned today and implement it so that tomorrow you can implement it in your business and you can make money from it. Okay? Very, very simple. I want you guys to understand so you can learn more and make more money this year. Type a dollar sign in the chat if you guys want to make more money this year, right? I am giving you actionable stuff every single week. The question is, are you taking the ball and running with it? Okay. Everything I'm showing you folks, okay, is stuff that I wish I knew my first day, my first month, my first year in commercial real estate. I'm giving you actionable stuff. The question is, are you going to take action? Right. In fact, I talked about this quite a bit. You guys, do me a favor, and I'm about to show you something. I'm going to give you a perfect example. When you guys think of the phrase "birds of a feather," what are the next few words that come after "birds of a feather"? Type it in the chat for me. You got to get those fingers up and warmed up. Why? Not because I like to play adult Simon Says. Okay. This is about, yeah, there we go, Malik. Way to go, buddy. Yes, Rachel. Yes, flock together. Birds of a feather, flock together. The reason why we have you guys type in the chat isn't because I like playing Simon Says. It's so that you remember this. It's actually a neural hack so that you remember this information better. So the more you engage, just like everything in life, the more you put in, the more you get out. Okay. So if birds of a feather flock together, if we know that to be true, think about what that means. It means that whatever we are, that's what we reproduce. Okay. So apple trees, what do they make? They make apples. Okay. What do orange trees make? They make oranges. Okay. So if you guys want to increase the amount of sales you make, you want to increase the amount of listings you take. Okay. When dealing with tenants or with clients, right? How do you want them to behave when it's time for them to make a decision on your behalf? Do you want them to be fast action takers? Type yes in the chat if you would love to go on a meeting, have them make a decision right there on the spot, sign the paperwork, and boom, right? Yeah, Malik says, yes, sir, right? Exactly. Why? Because, folks, how much easier would this business be if we booked a meeting with someone, you went there, you stated your case, and then they gave you the business, right? Wouldn't it be a whole lot easier if everyone that you dealt with was a fast action taker? Type FAT in the chat if you wish everybody that you dealt with was a fast action taker. Type FAT in the chat. Now, folks, okay, Linda was the first one. Love it. Okay. If apple trees make apples and orange trees make oranges, all right, and you want other people that you do business with to be fast action takers, what did you guys need to be? Type it in the chat. What do you think you need to be? If you want everyone else to be a fast action taker, what do you think you need to be? There you go, Kathy. Exactly. Guess what? This is a metaphor for the business world, guys. Kathy's a fast acting ticker. You know why? She was the first person to type it into the chat. Okay. This is like a microcosm for the rest of the world. Okay. What I want you guys to understand is if you want others to do things quickly, you need to do things quickly. So when I tell you to type something in the chat, type it in the chat. You know why? It's for your best interest. I promise you, if you come every week and you engage and you type in the chat and you take the lessons that we show you here and you implement them tomorrow, fast action taker, you're going to make more money this year than you would have otherwise. Does that make sense, guys? Type a 1 in the chat if you're with me. I'm doing it while I'm doing it, guys. You picking up what I'm putting down here? There we go. Thank you, Kathy. Cassie's the fast action taker here. Love it. There we go. Linda's with me. Malik's with me. Good. Okay, folks. So a lot of people in the beginning, before they learn how to do it, right, have expressed that it's difficult to go out and find business, dealing with strangers, right? The type of me in the chat, if you found that like it's difficult to maybe drum up or in the beginning, like you just don't know what to say, or how do you find commonality, or how do you create rapport? Kathy's with me. Anybody else? Or is everybody else, you're just like a rock star and you're just here just to point and laugh at the rest of us? Right? There we go. Okay, Nick's with me. Good. Stephen, Rachel, Kinsley, Lynette, how about you guys? Yeah, Amber. Okay, cool. So the point I want you to make, guys, is if it's difficult dealing with strangers, okay, until you learn how, because remember, everything was tricky until you learned. Like, how many of you thought it was hard to ride a bike before you learned how to ride a bike, right? Same thing. Okay, so if it's difficult in the beginning until you know how the skill of how to turn strangers into clients, who do you think are the most likely people that you could turn into clients? Maybe people that know, like, and trust you. Yeah. All right. Whoever just got on, if you could just make sure that you guys have you are muted, please make sure. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So if it's difficult to deal with strangers, do you think the people that know, like, and trust you are going to be more likely to give you business? Type yes in the chat. Capital Y, capital E, capital S. Yes. Amber said family and friends. Heck yeah. Don't you wish everybody that you did business with was a family or friend? You know why? They're a little bit easier to deal with. You actually like them too, instead of them just liking you. Okay. Are Amber and Malik the only ones that want to deal business with people that know, like, and trust them? Come on, guys. Right. The point I want you guys to make is before you go out dealing with strangers, why don't you max out dealing with people that know, like, and trust you? With me, folks? Okay. And that's what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going into how do you establish yourself? How do you get your first deal in commercial? Dealing with people that already know, like, and trust you. Because what does that do, guys? It sets the bar a little bit lower in terms of your performance. Not that you can slack, but what I'm saying is if you are a little nervous that you're not sure what to do, guess what that allows you to do? They're going to be a little, do you think your family and friends and people that know, like, and trust you are going to be a little bit more forgiving? Maybe, let's say you're on the residential side and it's someone that you sold a house to already. Do you think they would already trust you? And if they know that maybe you're newer to this on the commercial side, they'll give you a little bit of grace because they know that your heart's in the right place and that you did well by them by selling them their last house or two. You with me, guys? Type 1 in the chat if you're with me. Yep. Okay. Cool. So what we're going to go over today, folks, is how you kind of plant that flag on the commercial side of things to show people that already know, like, and trust you. You are in the commercial side of the business. And most importantly, you're ready to do business and you call them out on that. Does that make sense, folks? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you real quick and we'll get rocking and rolling. All right. The most important thing for you guys, okay, boom, is knowing who to reach out to, right? Just remember, folks, you have to do 3 things. You got to reach out to the right person with the right time and with the right message. Now, here's the cool part, all right? You are going to be picking from people that already know, like, and trust you. So guess what? You're already reaching out to the right people, okay? We don't know if they have a commercial need yet, but what I want you guys to understand is if you were to just pick a handful of these places, okay, and start, kind of chipping away each day, 10 minutes a day, in a month's time, I guarantee you're going to find somebody willing to do business with you. Okay. I'm going to go on record as saying this. Okay. Guys, type 100 in the chat. Okay. This is my rule of 100, and it's very, very simple. Okay. If you reach out to 100 people that know, like, and trust you, and tell them that you are in the business of commercial, you're going to find at least one piece of business. Guys, type a 100 in the chat if you believe that as well. Okay. Brian's with me. Rachel's with me. Kinsey. Okay. Because think about it, folks. You've already pre-qualified them. You don't need to go through and convince them that you're the right person for the job. They already know you. You're probably in their softball league. You're probably, you go to the same church, or you're on the kids' basketball. They're your kid's basketball coach, whatever, right? They already somehow, you are in their world. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a strategy tonight, okay, where you're going to go in and you're going to do a certain number of actions so that you can put yourself in front of them with your best foot forward. So first things first, guys, I don't know if you know it or not, but LinkedIn is very, very underutilized by real estate agents. Okay. Oftentimes, depending on your settings and the settings of other people's LinkedIn pages, you can go in, update your LinkedIn page, and it's going to show a bunch of people that are already in your network, people that know, like, and trust you, what has changed. Okay, so what I would highly recommend if you are on the residential side going to commercial, or if you are new to the commercial space and coming from a different industry, make note of it in your LinkedIn profile. Okay, guys, type a me in the chat if you have a LinkedIn profile and you think that you can spend 5 minutes in the next 24 hours and update the fact that you also, or you or your team, okay, also handles commercial real estate requirements. Okay, Rachel's with me, Tony's with me. Garrett, good. Cool. Okay. How many of you think that that if you took 5 minutes, you could change your email signature to include commercial / residential or commercial agent? All right. All right. That's another one. Very, very important. Why? Every single time you hit the send button, guess what? Someone else sees the fact that you're a commercial real estate agent. Okay. Facebook profile. All right. A lot of you like to send pictures of your vacations or your kids and stuff like that. And all that's well and good. Don't overlook it, though, as a place where you can show people who know, like, and trust you. I'm going to say it 1,000 times tonight, guys. So get used to it. All right. That you are here to do commercial business. You know, when I started this coaching business, guys, guess where I went to first? Guess where I got my first client from? Type in the chat. Type it in the chat. Take a guess. No, not family, not LinkedIn, Facebook. Yes, Lynette. Yes. Okay. All I did is I'm looking, this is exactly, these are verbatim the words. I'm looking for 5 guys or girls that are looking to learn commercial real estate. You know, hit me up with a DM. I got 3 people that I booked a meeting with, and one of them signed up in less than 48 hours. Guys, don't sleep on Facebook. This group that you're a part of, there's 12,000 people in it. Guess what? My very first client started before I even had this group. It started on Facebook. Okay, don't sleep on your Facebook profile. Business card. How many of you have ever heard of this little company called Vistaprint? Right? There's 100 other companies like it, but it just happens to be the one that I use. For $20, you can get 500 business cards. If you don't already have a commercial only business card, go out and get yourself one. Okay. Next thing is, folks, very, very simple for those of you on the residential side. Okay. Call all of your previous clients. It's so simple, but nobody does it. It's so simple that nobody does it. Okay. You guys have to understand. All right. There are 2 things you need to do to become a 1% earner. 2 things, and 2 things only. It's very simple. In fact, guys, type a 1% in the chat if you want to become a 1% earner. Just curious. And Tony and Deborah are the only ones? Okay, here we go. Cool. Because you know 1% earners earn in this country? They earn $428,000 a year or more, okay, according to CNN.com. The thing I want you to understand, okay, is 1% earners do 2 things right. Number 1, they do what 99% of people are not doing, okay? And number 2 is they're willing to go where 99% of people, or I should say further than 99% of people. It's very, very simple, okay? 99% of you on here will not do a single thing. You'll hear every word I say, okay? You'll get real excited, maybe even optimistic about what's possible if you just did these things, and 99% will not do it, okay? In real estate, here's the cool part though. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight. 50% of agents, they don't even show up to work every day. So they're not even competition for you. The next 40%, okay, so from 51% to 90%, okay, they don't even show up and prospect daily, okay? So they're not even your competition. You literally need to duke it out with about 10% of real estate agents. A lot of people say, yeah, but there's like 2,000 agents in my market. I'm like, I don't care how many more. I don't care if there's 2 million. You know why? Your competition is not 90% of them, because 90% don't even show up to work, okay? But that last 10%, that's who you got to duke it out with, okay? And the way you do that is by, instead of just learning, you implement, okay? So most folks will not take these things seriously. I'm giving you the keys. I'm putting this for you on a silver platter. This is all the stuff that I wish I knew year 1, okay? Take it and run with it, okay? Thank me later. Next up, guys, call your sphere of influence. If you don't have, let's say, you don't have 100 clients, no problem. Write a list of 100 people that you know and call them. How long would it take for you to make 100 phone calls? Do you think you can make 100 phone calls in the next 30 days? You think you can make 3 phone calls a day, guys? If it's worth picking up your first piece of business, okay? All right. Let them know, hey, me and my team are now doing commercial real estate transactions. Just out of curiosity, who do you know that is looking to buy, lease, or sell commercial real estate? Very, very simple, guys. Okay. Facebook posts. So we already talked about Facebook profile. Okay. Facebook posts can sound like this. I'm looking for 5 people to help with commercial real estate requirements. DM me below with details, right? You just don't know. Because here's the thing. Let's just say, for argument's sake, you have 1,000 people that you're friends with on Facebook. Guess what 1,000 of all those other people have? They have 1,000 friends. So it might not be somebody that you know, but it might be someone who you know, someone you know knows, if that makes sense. Okay. Instagram, folks, you know how many people use this all day, every day, flipping through Instagram? Don't be afraid to put a post on Instagram. It's very, very simple. Okay. Some people use it for business, actually. All right. The next thing is, folks, email broadcast or drip campaigns. If you do them, if you have a list, awesome. Okay. Or what you could do is you could take everybody who is in your all your previous clients and your sphere of influence, put them all on an email list, send them out one email. Hey, just wanted to introduce you to the newest commercial real estate agent in your market. By the way, let me know who you know that's looking to buy, lease, or sell commercial properties. Right? 1 out of 100 is going to say yes. I promise you, folks. Okay. Monthly newsletter. If you do have a drip campaign, I would recommend doing a monthly newsletter. If you have a way of sending through your brokerage to other agents, ooh, that's very, very good. Okay. Like, for instance, I know a lot of people that are residential agents that are coming over to commercial. And guess what? They're in an office with 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 agents. Guess what you have to do? Send an email out to them and say, hey, guys, I pay the biggest referrals in town. Okay. Send me all of your commercial leads. What residential agent wouldn't send that to somebody that they already are in the office with? Okay. They could probably see them at the company monthly meeting or whatever. Okay. And they can follow up there. There's a certain level of trust that's already there. All right. Every real estate agent that you know. Okay. All the resident, if you're new to commercial, talk to all the residential agents, tell them you're now doing commercial. You and your team are now accepting commercial requirements. Guess what? You're going to find a piece of business if you talk to 100 of them. Okay. Real estate networking events with other residential agents, awesome. And real estate board meetings. Guys, these are 14 ideas. Okay. Trust me. If now there's 14 of these, let's just say you're not going to go on LinkedIn, or you're not going to go on email, or you're not going to find 100 people on LinkedIn. 100 people aren't going to see your email, but 100 people are on your Facebook profile. But you just chose 7 people from each one of these. Do you think you could reach out to 100 people if you just chose 7 people from each one of these categories and reached out to them over the next 30 days? Do you think you could find a business? Guys, type a 100% in the chat if you believe that if you reached out to 100 people, that sooner or later somebody is going to give you your first piece of business. You might not be selling, the Empire State Building, okay, but it'll get your foot in the door. It'll give you something to work on, because so many agents go to the office and they wonder where their next deal is going to come from. They wonder where their next transaction is going to come from. Folks, if you reach out to your sphere of influence, you are 10 times likelier to do business with them coming out of the gate than with a stranger. You know why? A stranger's probably going to smell on you that, like, maybe you're a little bit newer, maybe you're not used to it, and you're competing with other agents. You're on a level playing field with other agents, and other agents might be more seasoned than you. But when you are reaching out to people that are already in your sphere of influence, guess what? You're already head and shoulders above the rest, because they already know, like, and trust you. Does that make sense, guys? Right? In fact, do me a favor, type an exclamation point in the chat if that's a bit of a light bulb for you. Dino, great profile pic, dude. Love that. Love that pocket square. Sharp. Heck yeah. All right. So, folks, what I want you guys to understand is if all 14 of these, you took 7 people and you reached out to 7 people on LinkedIn. So you sent 7 emails with your new signature, 7 people on your Facebook profile, 7 business cards that you handed out. You called 7 previous clients, called 7 people and you add it all up, and it's 100 people. 100 contacts will bear at least one piece of business. I hope that makes sense for all of you. Okay. But here's the reality. The reality of it is, most people on this call are going to do nothing. Okay. I have what I call a 991 rule. And here's how it goes. Very, very simple. 991 rule goes like this. All right. And now there's an old saying, and it goes, oftentimes success isn't on the other side of some training or some book or some video or some this. It's in all the little things that you know you're supposed to be doing, but aren't. I'm going to say it again. Success is on the other side of all those little things that you're supposed to be doing. I should say that you know you're supposed to be doing, but aren't. Guys, type a me in the chat. Let's get real honest here, guys. Okay. This is the circle of trust. How many of you know there are things that you could be doing, but aren't? Type a me in the chat. Be honest. Okay. Let's see. Let's see who's going to be honest. Let's see who my future rock stars are. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Kinsley. You guys are the honest ones. Okay. Now here's the thing. That's okay. That's the old you. You now have permission. Every single day is a new opportunity for a new evolution of yourself. Okay. Every single day, you're able to create a new version of yourself. And you know what? The new version of yourself, instead of just taking in more information and more information and more information, you're going to take what you learned today and start implementing immediately. In fact, I'm sure some of you are in different time zones. How many of you have time to make seven phone calls between now and the time you put your head on your pillow? Type a 7 in the chat if you're with me. Okay. Type a 7 in the chat. If it means enough to you in your future that you're willing to pick up the phone and make 7 dials, that's it. You make 7 dials. There we go. 7 dials, guys. That's all I'm asking. Okay. You do that over the next 2 weeks, over the next 14 days, you're going to get your next piece of business from it. All right, guys, take care. Be well, everybody.